And especially in America, there's the most. It's a lot made in nothing as far as I'm concerned. Something's been eating at MC Jagger for years and he just couldn't keep quiet anymore. Behind the Grammy wins and sold-out tours, there's a truth he's been hiding. The heart surgery wasn't his only medical crisis. His family tried to stop him from talking, but he did it anyway. What he revealed about Keith Richards will destroy their friendship forever. And the real reason Charlie Watts died has nothing to do with what they told us. At 81, Jagger is finally ready to burn it all down. The Rolling Stones may never recover from this. Mick Jagger was born on July 26, 1943 in Dartford, Kent. His father, Joe Jagger, was a PE teacher who always kept a whistle hanging on the door of the small bedroom at 15 Dartford Road. That's where Mick was born at 8:15 in the morning while V-1 bombs flew overhead. The sirens were still sounding that day. His mother, Eva, once joked that instead of a lullaby, Mick entered the world to an air raid warning. She used to be a hairdresser and supported the local conservative association. Life was strict but loving. Joe measured Mick's every move like a drill sergeant. There are family notes showing baby Mick crawling across a rug in just over 6 seconds and doing a forward roll before he turned 1. Food was rationed. They got only 8 ounces of sugar each week. So Eva gave him mashed bananas instead. In 1949, Joe helped organize a basketball exhibition in Kent for American soldiers, something rare in Britain at the time. The family routine was orderly. Church on Sundays, perfectly pressed shorts, illusion lessons. Everything about their home life was neat, tidy, and traditional. That made Mick's wild stage life in later years even more surprising. In 1948, Mick met a boy named Keith Richards at Wentworth Primary School. They were only 4 years old. Their names were one above the other on the class list. Sitting in Miss Gutzel's reception class, Keith had stolen some red marbles from his grandfather's shop. Mick offered him a piece of American bubble gum in exchange. That's how their friendship started. That Christmas they performed together in the school nativity. Mick sang Little Donkey while Keith played a toy drum. A local newspaper even mentioned their rhythm. But in 1954, Mick's family moved 3 miles away to Wilmington and the boys lost touch. Then, one random day, 17th of October 1961, they both showed up at Dartford. St. Mick was holding 2 rare American blues records. Keith saw him and asked about the albums. They hadn't spoken in 7 years, but that meeting reignited everything. Both of them loved blues music. They stood there talking, missing 2 trains in a row. Keith later said, the chances of that reunion were 1 in a 100 million. Only 21% of students passed the 11+ exam in 1954. Mick did it easily, scoring 87% in math and 92 in verbal reasoning. He joined Dartford Grammar School and became head boy of Westgate House. He earned an A in Latin and led the cross-country team. But his heart was somewhere else. He was obsessed with American blues and R&B. He traded food with U.S. airmen to get imported records before they reached shops. One day in 1956, he brought a Muddy Waters record to school and explained the beat to his classmates. By 1959, he was editing the school magazine and sneaking in reviews of blues albums. He once disguised a Bo Diddley record review as an essay on spiritual music. The headmaster didn't find it amusing. He took away the school's record player more than once. But all that deep focus, all that analysis would later help Mick negotiate record deals and contracts with laser precision. 17 Mick formed his first band. It happened on 12th of March 1960 at 7:45 p.m. in Dick Taylor's living room. Mick brought harmonica and a notebook filled with songs titled Repertoire Chicago Style. Their small group included Mick, Heath, Dick and Bob Beckwith on a homemade bass. 8 friends came to watch them play. The rehearsal was recorded and that tape still exists in the British Library. A few weeks later they performed at the Ealing Coronation Club and were paid 3 guineas. Mick kept the money in a jar labeled Chess Fund. Even at that early stage they were performing songs like I Just Want to Make Love to You, though none of them had serious girlfriends yet. A local paper called them noisy kids trying to copy black music. Just 4 years later, critics would call them the most dangerous live band in Britain. Mick was accepted into the London School of Economics in 1960. He was meant to study accounting and finance. His fees were $50 per term and he lived at Connaught Hall. On his very first day he attended a lecture by James Mead, who would later win a Nobel Prize. But Mick was doodling guitars in his notebook. In just 12 weeks he skipped 28 out of 45 classes. Instead he spent his time at clubs like Ealing Jazz and the Marquee. He even carried a microphone in his briefcase next to his copy of The Economist. He practiced singing in public toilets because of the echo. He once wrote to his tutor asking to skip exams because his band had booked 6 shows. The university denied his request. He dropped out by summer 1962, but the time he spent learning economics didn't go to waste. Years later he used that knowledge to cut profitable deals. That stunned even the toughest promoters. That famous morning at Dartford Station happened on 17th October 1961. Mick was 18 and holding 2 American blues records when Keith spotted him. Keith had his guitar with him. They hadn't seen each other since primary school. They stood there talking about music, shops, and records. If Mick had slept a few minutes longer he might have missed that train, and maybe the Rolling Stones would never have happened. At that time Mick had 150 imported records. Keith could already play complicated guitar licks.